Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Thinking of visiting Russia anytime soon? If yes, then you are in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 important things that every foreigner should know before planning a trip to Russia. Stay with me till the end because I have got a bonus tip that will make your visit smooth and memorable. And by the way, if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more travel tips, cultural insights, and fascinating stories. All right, so let's get started. Number one, visa process and documentation. First thing first, the Russian visa process. For most foreigners, the process is a bit detailed but totally manageable if you prepare well in advance. Depending on your nationality, you will need a tourist visa, an invitation letter, your bank statement, and of course, a valid passport. Make sure to apply at least a couple of months before your trip to avoid any last minute surprises. I can't stress this enough. Check your passport's expiration date. It's very important. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine waited too long to apply for their visa and missed their flight because their invitation letter got delayed. The takeaway, don't leave it until the last minute. Start early to save yourself a headache. Number two, language barrier and how to manage it. Now let's talk about the language barrier. As you know, Russian is the main language, and outside the big cities, English isn't widely spoken. But don't worry, it's not as hard as it sounds. Learning just a few basic phrases in Russian will make a huge difference. Simple words like "привет," which means hello, "spasiba," that means thank you, will go a long way. And if Russian seems too difficult, Google Translate will be your best friend. Make sure to download the offline version because your trip, in case you don't have internet, you can use the offline app. I once struggled at a local restaurant. It's funny because I couldn't explain my order. What I learned from this that having a few key phrases ready can save you a lot of troubles. Number 3, Russian culture and social etiquette. Russians may seem serious or reserved, but don't take it personally. They are just more direct and don't tend to smile as much at strangers. It's just part of their culture. If someone seems a bit serious when you ask for help, don't be offended. It's just their way of being. Also, it's important to be polite. If you are on public transport, be sure to give up your seat to elderly people. It's a big sign of respect in Russia. And one more thing, avoid discussing sensitive topics like politics or any other controversial issues. And here is a personal story. On one of my first trip, I kept smiling at everyone, giving a smile, friendly smile. I saw, and they just stared back at me and with blank faces. It took me a while to understand that in Russia, smiling at stranger isn't a common thing. They don't feel it's something good. Don't worry if people aren't as smiley. It's just their way. Number 4, weather and packing essentials. Very important. Now let's discuss the weather. Russia can get extremely cold, especially in the winter if you are planning to travel in winter. So, if you are visiting during that time, pack warm clothes, heavy jackets, gloves, thermal layers, and a hat. All are must. But during the summer, the weather can be quite pleasant. Just be ready for some unpredictable changes. Weather in Russia is totally unpredictable. I remember my first winter in Russia. I thought I could handle the cold with just a regular jacket. Very big mistake. The cold in Russia hits differently. Be prepared, especially if you are not used to freezing temperatures. A big warning. Number 5, food and dietary preferences. Now let's talk about food. Russian cuisine is unique and might be unfamiliar to you depending on where you are from. You will find local dishes like borscht, blini, and pelmeni, which are definitely worth trying. But if you have specific dietary needs, whether it's halal or vegetarian or gluten free, you might need to plan ahead because, especially in smaller towns, it will be bit difficult. In cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, you will find plenty of international and dietary friendly options, but it's always a good idea to carry some snacks or some packed food with you just in case if you cannot find what you need. Here is a quick story. During my first visit, I went out searching for something that suited my diet and ended up walking for hours before I found a restaurant that fit my needs. Definitely come prepared and have your research that which area you are going to visit and what food you exactly need. As I promised, the bonus tip: public transportation. Russia's public transport system is one of the best in the world, especially in Moscow. The metro is fast, reliable, and super easy to use. Make sure to get a metro card. It's cheaper than constantly paying for single rides, and it will save you a lot of time, especially during rush hours. Taxis are available too, but public transport is often a faster option, especially in bigger cities. Very important thing that in Russia, after sanctions for payments, their official currency is rubles. So make sure that you have rubles in cash. So if you want to use international cards in Russia, they might not work. So it's always a good idea to keep cash in rubles with you, and make sure to exchange the money before traveling there or after you reach at the airport. There in some exchange you can exchange the money or later on, but it's always a good idea to carry cash because most of the online payment systems, they are not working in Russia. Booking hotels in Russia can be challenging because during peak seasons they can be quite expensive. It's always a good idea to make your research well in advance to check the prices, what will be the prices of the places or the cities that you will visit in Russia, and what will be the rates, because the rates can fluctuate very frequently. Check about the rates and make sure to book well in advance because later on the same hotels can be quite expensive. There you have it. 5 important things every foreigner should know before visiting Russia. I hope these tips help you having an amazing trip without any surprises. Russia is a fascinating country with so much to see, so much to learn, and it's an amazing country to visit. Just do your research, be prepared, and make sure that you make a list of what things you need there, which area you're going to visit, and learn few sentences in Russian language, or keep a few translation apps like Google Translator, or if you have any other app, but have some translation apps in your mobile. And it's an amazing country. And I suggest to all the foreigners that once in their life, they must visit Russia. And thank you for watching, share, and subscribe. And if you want to know anything else about Russia, write in the comment section. I will do my best to share the details.